There are 5 pickup trucks sitting on dealer lots right now collecting dust, and every mechanic I know is whispering about them to friends and family. These are not fixer-uppers. These are not good enough for the money compromises. I am talking about trucks that will haul, tow, and run for 250,000 miles or more, selling for thousands less than they should because of one ridiculous reason. Everybody walks right past them on their way to a Tacoma. After 22 years of turning wrenches, I have watched people overpay for Toyotas and Fords, while trucks that are every bit as capable just sit there, waiting for someone smart enough to check the data instead of the badge. And truck number 1, that one has been my best-kept secret for years. I have put customers into them who came back not with complaints, but with thank you cards. Today I am counting down my 5 most underrated pickup trucks on the used market. The ones offering serious reliability at prices that make no sense once you understand what is under the hood. I am going deepest on number 1 because that truck is going to change the way you shop. Let's get into it. Number 5, Ford Maverick. Plenty on lots, great value. Number 5 is a truck that Ford cannot move off the lot fast enough, and that is your opportunity. Right now, used Ford Mavericks with the 2-liter EcoBoost are sitting at dealerships across the country, with days on lot numbers pushing past 90. The inventory glut is real. Ford sold 131,000 of these in 2024 alone, and the used market is swimming in them. I had a customer last spring, a younger guy in his late 20s, come in wanting me to look at a used Tacoma. It was a 2020, 74,000 miles, and the dealer wanted $29,500 for it. Base model, cloth seats, manual windows. I am not making that up. I told him, look, for that money you can buy a 2023 Ford Maverick XLT with the EcoBoost, all-wheel drive, 22,000 miles, and still have $4,000 left over for gas and insurance. He looked at me like I had lost my mind. He bought the Maverick. That was 11 months ago. He texts me updates like I am his mechanic therapist. Not a single issue. He is averaging 28 miles per gallon in a truck. In a truck! Here is what nobody is telling you about the Maverick. The 2-liter EcoBoost paired with the 8-speed automatic is a proven powertrain that Ford has used across multiple platforms for years. It is not experimental. Consumer Reports gave the 2023 and 2024 gas-powered Mavericks good reliability scores. J.D. Power ranked the Maverick above average for initial quality in its segment. The hybrid version deserves a mention too. If you can deal with front-wheel drive on the 2022 to 2024 models, you are looking at 40-plus miles per gallon in the city. That is not a typo. 40 miles per gallon in a vehicle with a truck bed. The 2022 hybrid had some early drive system quirks that Ford addressed, and by 2023, those issues were ironed out. The 2025 model finally added hybrid all-wheel drive, which is what people had been begging for. Average used price for a 2023 Maverick XLT EcoBoost with under 30,000 miles is $24,000 to $27,000. Compare that to a same-year Tacoma SR5 at $33,000 to $37,000. You are looking at an $8,000 to $10,000 gap for a truck that, for 90% of what real people actually use a truck for, does the job just as well. When you are inspecting a used Maverick, check 3 things. First, test the transmission in stop and go driving. Some early EcoBoost models had reports of low-speed hesitation. If you feel it hunting for gears at parking lot speeds, negotiate or walk. Second, listen for interior rattles. The base trims used cheaper materials, and panel gaps can develop on early builds. Not a mechanical concern, but it tells you how the truck was treated. Third, check the bed for abuse. The Maverick's bed is 4.5 feet long and made from high-strength steel. If someone was treating this compact truck like an F-250, you will see the evidence. Bottom line on the Maverick: if you commute to work, run errands, haul bags of mulch on weekends, and occasionally tow a small trailer, this truck does all of that for less money and less fuel than anything else with a bed. The only reason it is cheap is because Ford built so many that dealers are practically giving them away. That is a buying opportunity, not a warning sign. Number 4, Nissan Frontier. This is a mechanic-friendly truck, not because it breaks, but because when it does need something, the job takes half the time and costs half the money compared to the competition. And you can pick one up right now for under $18,000. Let me tell you about the Nissan Frontier's secret weapon: simplicity. While Toyota was adding complexity and Ford was turbocharging everything, Nissan just kept building the same straightforward, naturally aspirated V6 truck and refining it. The second-generation Frontier ran from 2005 through 2021 with the same basic architecture. That is 16 years of working out every possible kink. The VQ40DE 4.0-liter V6 in the 2009 to 2019 models is a timing chain engine. No belt replacements, no turbo failures, no direct injection carbon buildup. It just runs. RepairPal gives the Frontier a 4 out of 5 reliability rating, the highest in the mid-size truck segment. Let that sink in. Higher than the Tacoma, higher than the Colorado. The Frontier sits at the top, and nobody talks about it. Annual maintenance costs average around $470 compared to $547 for the Tacoma. That is real savings compounded every single year. I had a customer bring in a 2015 Frontier with the V6 a while back, 235,000 miles. He wanted to know what major work was coming. I inspected it top to bottom, checked the compression, pulled codes, looked at the transmission fluid. You know what I found? He needed front wheel bearings. That was it. Everything else was original. At 235,000 miles. He told me he had done nothing but oil changes, brakes, and belts. That is it. Here is the pricing that should make you angry if you overpaid for a Tacoma. A 2018 Nissan Frontier S5 Crew Cab V6 with 65,000 miles runs $16,000 to $19,000. The same year, Toyota Tacoma SR5 with similar mileage is $27,000 to $31,000. That is an $11,000 difference for a truck that, based on every reliability metric I can find, is just as durable. Now, I need to warn you about one thing. If you are looking at 2005 to 2008 Frontiers, check the radiator and transmission fluid immediately. Those early models had an internal radiator design where transmission cooler lines ran through the radiator. If those seals fail, coolant mixes with the transmission fluid and it creates what mechanics call the strawberry milkshake of death. It will kill both the radiator and the transmission simultaneously. The fix before it happens is a $200 external transmission cooler bypass. After it happens, you are looking at $5,000 or more. Stick with 2009 and newer to avoid this entirely. The 2013 and 2014 model years are the sweet spot. Consumer Reports gave the 2014 Frontier near-perfect reliability scores. When shopping, test the all-wheel drive if it is a Pro 4X. Check for rust on the frame, especially in northern climates. And listen for any exhaust leaks at the manifold. Those are cheap fixes, but great negotiating tools. Number 3. Ram 1500 with the 5.7 Hemi. Number 3 is a full-size truck with the most comfortable ride in the segment, an interior that embarrasses vehicles costing $20,000 more, and a V8 engine that has been running strong since 2003. It depreciates like it is a rental car. Here is the dirty little secret about the Ram 1500. It is arguably the best daily driving full-size truck ever built, and it loses more value in 5 years than almost any other truck on the market. The F-150 loses around 51% of its value over 5 years, according to CarEdge data. The Ram 1500 loses about 45%. But here is the thing. The Ram started at a lower price point in most configurations, and the discounts Ram dealers offer on new models push used values down even further. That is bad news for the original owner and fantastic news for you. The 5th generation Ram 1500 that started in 2019 is the truck I am talking about. The 5.7-liter Hemi Vive 8 in these produces 395 horsepower and 410 pound-feet of torque. It is paired with the ZF 8-speed automatic, which is widely regarded as one of the best automatic transmissions in the entire automotive industry. Not just trucks, cars, SUVs, everything. It is smooth, responsive, and built to last. The Hemi itself is a pushrod V8 with a simple, proven design. It has been in production in various forms since 2003, and the forums are full of owners who have pushed past 200,000 and even 300,000 miles on original engines and transmissions. There is no turbo to fail, no complicated timing chain system to worry about. It uses a traditional overhead valve design that mechanics have understood for decades. And then there is the ride. The Ram 1500 uses a multi-link coil spring rear suspension instead of the leaf springs you get in an F-150 or Silverado. That is a huge deal. It rides like a luxury SUV, not like a work truck. Consumer Reports has consistently called it the most comfortable riding full-size pickup available. Used prices right now are shocking. A 2020 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew. Cab with the Hemi 5.8 4x4, 65,000 miles, $25,000 to $29,000. A comparable 2020 F-150 XLT with the 5.0 V8 goes for $28,000 to $33,000. You are saving $3,000 to $5,000 and getting a better ride, a better interior, and comparable reliability. RepairPal gives the Ram 1500 a 3.5 out of 5 reliability rating and ranks it 3rd out of 19 full-size trucks. That is above average for the segment. Yes, Ram has historically had more electrical gremlins than Toyota. I am not going to pretend otherwise. Check the infotainment system during your test drive. Make sure the Uconnect screen is responsive and not freezing. Test the air conditioning because some models had evaporator issues. And look under the truck for any signs of coolant leaks around the water pump area. But here is the mechanic math that matters. If you buy a Ram 1500 Hemi for $26,000 and drive it for 150,000 miles, your powertrain is going to be fine. The Hemi and the ZF 8-speed are the best parts of this truck, and they are the parts that cost the most to replace. Everything else is maintenance, and maintenance on a Ram is straightforward and affordable. Who should buy this truck? Anyone who wants a full-size V8 pickup that rides like a Cadillac and costs less than the competition. highway commuters who tow on weekends, people who spend a lot of time in their truck and value interior comfort, and anyone who is smart enough to realize that a badge does not determine reliability, engineering does. Number 2. Chevy Colorado. Number 2 is a mid-sized truck that General Motors builds with genuine capability, and the market has decided to ignore in favor of the Tacoma. The depreciation on these trucks is a gift to used buyers. I had a guy come in last year towing a 16-foot boat in a 2019 Colorado Z71 with the 3.6-liter V6. He had 127,000 miles on it. I asked him what kind of problems he had been having. He looked at me confused and said, "That is why I am here. I have not had any problems, and I figured something must be wrong." I put it on the lift and I checked everything. Brakes were at 40%. Transmission fluid looked clean. No leaks, no codes. I told him to come back in 20,000 miles. He almost seemed disappointed. The second-generation Colorado launched in 2015 and was a complete reimagining of what a mid-sized truck could be. The 3.6-liter V6 makes 308 horsepower and is paired with an 8-speed automatic. That is more power than the base Tacoma and comparable to some full-size trucks from just a few years ago. It can tow up to 7,000 pounds, which is serious capability for a mid-size platform. But here is the detail that separates the Colorado from the Tacoma in terms of value. Depreciation. The Tacoma holds its value like a precious metal. That is great for Tacoma owners and terrible for Tacoma buyers. A 2019 Tacoma SR5 V6 with 70,000 miles still commands $28,000 to $32,000. A 2019 Colorado Z71 V6 with the same miles is $20,000 to $24,000. You are getting equivalent capability and saving $8,000 to $10,000. Now, the Colorado is not perfect. Some 2015 to 2016 models had transmission shutter issues that GM addressed through software updates and fluid changes. If you are shopping early models, ask whether the transmission fluid has been changed and if the latest software calibration has been applied. The 2017 and newer trucks largely resolved this. The 2.8-liter Duramax diesel that was available in some years is an interesting option if you find one, but parts and maintenance are more expensive, so I generally steer people toward the V6 for the best ownership experience. The ZR2 off-road variant deserves special mention. It has DSSV dampers, co-developed with Multimatic, electronic locking differentials front and rear, and is legitimately one of the best off-road trucks available at any price. And because it says Chevy and not Toyota, a used ZR2 is significantly cheaper than a TRD Pro. Tacoma, while being arguably more capable off-road. When inspecting a used Colorado, pay attention to 4 things. First, check the transfer case fluid if it is a 4x4. Neglected transfer cases are the most common issue I see on these trucks. Second, test the infotainment system thoroughly. The early Chevy MyLink systems can lag and freeze. Third, look at the frame for rust, especially in salt belt states. GM's frame coatings improved over the production run, but early trucks in harsh climates can show corrosion. Fourth, take it on the highway and accelerate from 50 to 75. If the transmission shifts cleanly and the engine pulls smoothly, you have got a good one. If this kind of straight talk is helping you, hit subscribe. I have got more videos coming on the truck's dealership's push versus the ones that actually make sense for your wallet. Now let me tell you about number 1. Number 1, the Honda Ridgeline. This is the truck that everybody makes fun of and every mechanic quietly recommends to their own family. It has the same V6 engine family that has been bulletproof in the Honda Pilot, Odyssey, and Accord for over a decade. It has a fully independent suspension that makes it ride better than any other truck in its class. It has a hidden trunk under the bed that no other pickup offers. And it is selling for $7,000 to $12,000 less than a Tacoma because the average truck buyer thinks it is not a real truck. Reliable. Let me tell you about the customer who changed my mind about this truck. About 4 years ago, a contractor came in for an inspection on a 2018 Ridgeline RTL-E he had been using as his daily work truck. This is a guy who hauls tools, lumber, and materials 5 days a week. His Ridgeline had 168,000 miles on it. I expected to find worn-out suspension, transmission issues, something. I found nothing. Brakes were recently done. Engine was clean. Transmission shifted perfectly. He told me he had owned Tacomas and F-150s before, and the Ridgeline was the first truck that never left him stranded and never surprised him with a repair bill. His exact words were, "I stopped caring what other guys on the job site say about it when I realized I was the only one not missing work because of truck problems." Dependable. Here is what makes the second-generation Ridgeline from 2017 to 2024 special. The 3.5-liter V6 is Honda's J35 engine family, naturally aspirated, no turbo, no supercharger. It makes 280 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque, mated to a 9-speed automatic and standard all-wheel drive. This engine has been in service across Honda's lineup for years, with a track record that rivals Toyota's best. RepairPal lists the Ridgeline's average annual maintenance cost at just $502, which is below the midsize truck segment average. J.D. Power gives the 2025 model an 82 out of 100 predicted reliability score. Consumer Reports has consistently ranked it among the most reliable trucks available. The unibody construction is what scares truck buyers away, and it should not. Yes, it is built on a modified Honda Pilot platform instead of a traditional body on frame design. That means it cannot tow 10,000 pounds. Maximum towing is 5,000. If you need to pull a fifth wheel or a massive boat, this is not your truck, and I am not going to pretend it is. But for 80 to 90% of what real truck owners actually do with their trucks, the Ridgeline handles it with less effort, less fatigue, and fewer trips to the mechanic. The independent rear suspension means no leaf springs, which means no squeaking, no harsh ride, and dramatically better handling than any other mid-size truck. The composite bed does not dent, does not rust, and has zero wheel well intrusion, which means you can lay a 4x8 sheet of plywood flat. Try that in a Tacoma or Colorado. And then there is the in-bed trunk, a sealed, lockable, drainable storage compartment under the bed floor that can hold coolers, tools, or anything you want to keep secure and out of sight. No other truck has this, period. Now let us talk about the numbers that should make you stop scrolling through Tacoma listings. A 2019 Honda Ridgeline RTL with 60,000 miles is running $24,000 to $28,000. A 2019 Tacoma TRD off-road with the same mileage is $32,000 to $37,000. That is an $8,000 to $10,000 difference. And the Ridgeline has a bigger back seat, a more comfortable ride, better highway manners, a quieter cabin, and comparable reliability data. The 2018 and 2019 model years are the sweet spot. Those are widely considered the most reliable years for the second generation, with minimal complaints and strong owner satisfaction scores. Avoid the 2017 if you can. It had a slightly higher rate of fuel injector complaints compared to later models. From 2020 onward, Honda refreshed the styling and added more standard features, and those trucks are solid too. If you find a 2021 or newer with low miles, jump on it. When you are inspecting a used Ridgeline, here is my checklist. First, check the transmission fluid condition. The 9-speed is reliable, but it appreciates clean fluid. If the fluid looks dark or smells burnt, the owner skipped maintenance. Second, test the all-wheel drive system by driving on a gravel road or a wet parking lot. You should feel the system engage smoothly with no clunking or vibration. Third, open the in-bed trunk and check for water intrusion or mold. It is sealed from the factory, but a cracked seal can let moisture in over time. That is an easy fix and a good negotiating point. Fourth, look at the paint on the hood and the roof. Some owners have reported minor clear coat issues in certain climates. Cosmetic only, but worth noting. Who should buy this truck? Families. The back seat is the most spacious in any mid-size truck. Period. Commuters who occasionally need a truck bed. The Ridgeline drives like an SUV on the highway. Contractors and tradespeople who haul tools and materials but do not need to tow more than 5,000 pounds. And anyone who has done the research and understands that a truck that never breaks down is worth more than a truck that looks tough in a parking lot. Who should skip it? If you tow heavy loads regularly, get a Tundra or an F-150. If you go rock crawling on weekends, get a Tacoma TRD Pro or a Colorado ZR2. If you need your truck to impress other truck guys at the tailgate, honestly, the Ridgeline is not that. It is the truck equivalent of a sleeper car. It does not look like much. It just never lets you down. Here's my final take. The Ridgeline is the best kept secret in the entire used truck market. Honda reliability, naturally aspirated V6, standard all-wheel drive, the most usable bed in the midsize class, and prices that make absolutely no sense when you look at what you are actually getting. The only reason this truck is affordable is because people see the Honda badge on a pickup and their brains short-circuit. Their loss, your gain. So there it is. 5 trucks that dealer lots cannot move, but mechanics cannot stop recommending. The Ford Maverick with its 40 miles per gallon hybrid efficiency and compact truck utility. The Nissan Frontier, the highest rated mid-size truck for reliability that nobody remembers exists. The Ram 1500 Hemi, the most comfortable full-size truck on the road, selling for thousands less than the F-150. The Chevy Colorado, a genuinely capable mid-size truck living in the Tacoma's shadow. And the Honda Ridgeline, the truck that every mechanic tells their family to buy and nobody else listens. You now know 5 trucks you can buy today that will outlast vehicles costing thousands more. Next time you are on a dealer lot and the salesperson tries to steer you toward an overpriced Tacoma with cloth seats and manual windows, you will know better. Now, if you want to know which trucks have actually earned legendary status in the shop, the ones that refuse to die, no matter what their owners did to them, I did a whole video on that. It is right here. That is 22 years of watching trucks come and go. Like if this helped. Subscribe for more. I will keep giving you the truth. Dealerships will not. Drive safe. Take care of your truck and it will take care of you. Take it or leave it. I will see you in the next one.